Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the July 2nd, 2025 meeting of Chatham's Historic Business District Commission. As soon as our clerk, Sam Stryber, gets through reading the governor's directive, we'll do a roll call of the members who are present, and we'll be reviewing the applications this afternoon. Sam?
Yes, pursuant to Governor Healy's March 28th, 2025, signing of the Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws C 30A, paragraph 20, until June 30th, 2027. This meeting of the Chatham Historic Business District Commission is being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that that people who would like to listen to the meeting while in progress may do so by calling the phone number 1-508-945-4410. Conference ID 673-373-405 hashtag, or join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this is a live broadcast and simulcast on Chatham TV, Xfinity Channel 102, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide the real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. In accordance with town policy, the public can speak to any issue, hearing, or business item on the agenda during the meeting when recognized by the chair.
Thank you, Sam. All right, now for the roll call. We have our Vice Chair, Darcy Sequin.
Darcy Sequin is here.
Our clerk, Sam Stryber.
Sam Stryber is here.
Regular member, Bob Burns.
Bob Burns is here.
And we have our first alternate, Tim Gilmore.
Tim Gilmore is here.
And Doug Gretton is not with us. And we also have Sarah Clark, Central Permitting Coordinator, with us this evening. All right, first order of business is the minute reviews, and those would be of the minutes of the meeting that was held on June 18th. Our second piece of business, before we look at the applications themselves, is the annual election of officers, and we'll make this as brief as possible. Does anybody want to make a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 18th.
Tim, you want to second it?
Tim Gilmore has to abstain. I was not present at that meeting.
All right, motion made and seconded. Bob?
Bob Burns approves.
He abstained. He wasn't
He
here.
abstained. Somebody has to.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't he? Yeah. Tim?
I have to abstain.
Oh, you weren't here, right, okay.
I seconded the motion.
Oh, you did, okay. Do you approve the minutes? Tim can't.
Do you vote
Darcy.
to approve?
Oh, yes, Sam Stryber
Okay,
votes to.
and Dan does as well, yep. Okay, so those out of the way. Now, the annual election of officers.
I'll make a motion to continue with the current slate of officers for this year.
All right,
Tim Gilmore, second that motion.
all righty. Motion made and seconded. Bob?
Bob Burns approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam Stryber approves.
And Dan Silver approves. We'll have to find out what Doug thinks about it. And by the way, Tim, you're taking Doug's place, so
Very good.
be fully active. All right, first application, Sam?
First application is a site improvement, 25-045, Beverly and Terry Angelotti. Application to install a fence, retaining wall, and replace solid shell driveway with bluestone and a cobblestone border located at 751 Main Street.
I'm sorry, folks, yeah, if you take one of the podiums on our right, introduce yourself and give us a brief synopsis of your proposed project. We'll take it from there.
Good afternoon, guys. Terry Angelotti and Beverly Angelotti, 751 Main Street. We're here to discuss the improvements for our new home for the site.
All right, so I know you get all kinds of pictures here, right?
We did what best we could. We got what we thought you might need.
There's a pointer, should be a pointer on the desk there,
Red,
a laser.
and then again, maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay. All right. This is your little area of landscape here. This is, you're calling a fence. It's not a fence. It's just part of the landscape here that's not fencing anything in. It's a decorative rope, but it's 4 poles here and 2 on the side here. Part of this little landscaping that goes right around here, around our driveway, which was impossible to do before because there was a gigantic propane tank right here, which is now over here, and got a little fence that we've had moved and done. And it's properly landscaped and done. It had none of that before, just was a bunch of old shells and trees. Just invasive trees in the front of our house when we got it. So you really didn't see this. It looked like maybe Hansel and Gretel lived here for a long while. The people we had do this, they did the, all this stonemason and stuff, a guy out of Harwich and stuff, so we figured he did what he was supposed to do, and that is get whatever permits or other things that are necessary. When we did the stuff in the house, they pulled permits for the county and stuff like that, but obviously, this guy who's worked here in this town was unaware that he had to come to you all to do that, so we were informed by you guys by that motion to get this here squared away. So we're not still sure why Tony would have, we paid him a lot of money to do all that work. And he's a contractor, and that's what he does do, so. Anyhow, there's your, as you call a quarter board or something, we put this up on our house here, so I guess that's part of our request to have that approved.
Okay, so right now, we're just focusing on the, on the fence and
Okay,
the
as you
retaining
call,
wall.
yeah, and I'm not sure where you're talking retaining wall, but that might be here in the back along this patio in the very, very back of the property. Or if you're talking retaining, maybe the
All right, we have another picture of that,
cobblestone along
the
the,
fence is already up, right?
if you're calling this a fence, it's really not a fence. It's,
Mr. Chair, you're talking about so the white vinyl fence was approved by this commission.
yeah, that's, we didn't put that up. That was there when we
was
got the
there.
house.
I believe the fencing that the commission maybe, or what was called fencing, is the post and rope.
Yeah,
As shown on
exactly.
the screen.
Which again, like I said, that's just a decorative piece of, in our landscaping, this has no fence. It's not fencing anything. Fence along the back, the vinyl and that stuff was already all there when we purchased the property. So we're assuming they got whatever permits were necessary when they did that.
Could you pull the 4 photographs? That shows the, somewhat what you've done in the back. That there's a patio back there.
Right, I don't know, this'll, well, that's not really
And-
showed there. Yeah, I don't know if you can, I'm not able to change these with this, but here in the back here is where they're putting in a little, a cement patio back here. This was just,
It's in there now.
it's in there now, yeah. It's right here, and that's, then you got, along here, you got your cobblestone along here, and this is all the old beat-down shell that was there. So now this is all got a wet set cobblestone, and then back here, a like a 15 by 17 patio where we have now a patio set and stuff like that. And it'll be at the very back corner of the property back here, where it just sets in here.
Is the back fence new?
No, that was there. This
That was
fence
there.
was, this fence was.
Does it turn the corner and come all the way towards the front?
It goes along the back this way towards my neighbors on the side here. This is the corner house here, and then the Ford dealer. So you got a kind of a directional. This here goes this way towards the Grattan's house.
You can get around that fence.
And then you walk, then
Either
it comes
side.
down the side of the,
It's not blocked off.
then it goes on the side. But it's I guess a privacy thing that they put up, somebody put up at some time. Our property actually goes further back behind this fence and way back beyond this, but we chose to let the neighbor utilize the little bit of property and keep his berm and stuff there, so it just kind of squared it off and it looked right for us, so it wasn't of any importance.
Any other questions, Sam?
Sam?
What?
Any other questions?
It's just, I went there this morning and I thought it was a great improvement.
Thank you,
over
thank you.
what you had.
Yeah, that's what we were shooting for. It didn't look so good for a long while, but we heard many stories about the house and this. We're not sure what's true and not, but anyhow, it's now ours, and we plan on being here and living here and being part of the community for probably half of the year, and in Central Florida for the other part, but we want to keep it up and make it look right, and we don't want to do anything if we're not supposed to not do it. We didn't even know about this until the 11th and a half hour. We're still not sure exactly why. He wouldn't have known this, but
That doesn't matter.
we know now.
Okay, so, again, I think it's a great improvement. You've neatened up the whole lot. You've gotten that propane tank out of view.
Yeah.
And covered it with a short fence. So, your little cornerboard sign
Yes, sir.
looks kind of lonely on that big wall.
Yeah, we were not so,
We think so too.
That's,
yeah, that's on a
it's
separate
sep-
application.
That's the next application.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right. Okay.
Okay, Bob?
Yeah, a couple questions. The setback, and Sarah, maybe you can answer this, from the road, is that stone permissible?
So this property did previously have a driveway in front of it. Driveways are not required for residential properties, driveways and parking are not required to meet a setback for a residence. If this were a commercial property, it would need to meet, I believe it's a 10-foot setback in a GB2 zoning district.
So the property next door with the white fence,
751,
well, you can see it in the picture.
so, this one?
Yeah, that one up there. Now, is that residential or is that commercial? Do we know?
And that's a residential,
That one
they're
is-
rentals.
Yeah, that one is a residence. Fences are required to meet a setback if they exceed 6 feet in height from average existing grade. Neither of these fences exceed 6 feet in height, so it would not need to meet the required road setback for the zoning district.
Okay, so the pebbles are okay there, based on, pebbles are okay?
Because there had been an existing
Existing.
parking area in that location.
Okay, and then the white posts,
So that's the picket fence you're seeing is on the neighboring
yeah, it's
property.
neighbor, okay. I'd rather have seen something white in front of your place,
No.
but it's done, so
It's done, yeah.
it would have been more consistent if there was maybe just a white post there instead of what you have here, so. But it looks like it's done. I think it's an improvement, so I'm okay.
Thank you.
Jim?
I would agree with Mr. Burns on the fence, or the draped rope fence. I don't have any problems with anything else. I think you've done a great job on the driveway and the rest of the property with the fencing. I just don't see, in my travels around the area, I've yet to see a fence quite like that one. I'm wondering underneath, is that lighting that's gonna light that in the evening?
It's a low voltage landscape lights on the bottom there, yeah.
And that lights up the
Around the bottom and stuff around the landscape, the plants that are there now starting to take and grow. They're fairly new. All the planting is recent, and the lighting is recent, but it's a low voltage landscaping lights that are there to accent the garden.
No, and I think the garden looks very good. Again, I think the fence is already in, it's been a substantial improvement to the property overall. Just the character and nature of that fence, I don't see any other examples of that in the area. But at this point, it's done, so I guess I have no further comment.
If the majority of the board thinks that it should be painted, those posts should be painted, we can condition the acceptance. Right, Darcy?
I have to agree with my other commissioners that, is it appropriate for the area? I'm not sure. If you look around, there are a lot of white picket fences, whether they be vinyl or wood. I appreciate you coming before us, and I know you've had some things done in the past that were not yours, but like I said, I appreciate you coming before us with this, but I have to agree with the other two. I think a different type of fence would certainly be more appropriate for a historic district.
I have to agree with them, too. I don't think that type of fence is inappropriate, but it doesn't make what it's supposed to be. Those posts need to be a lot larger. They're way too small for that type of, they're meant to be a substantial stop at a, like the fish pier downtown, or, one of the landings in town. To be honest with you, you've got the post in, you got the rope in, which you can untie the ends, you can pull it out, and you can slip the PVC sleeve over the top of that and substantially improve the diameter of those, and then put your rope back, and you'll have what does belong there. So those sleeves are, they are part of the kit for a regular stairs for a patio. So they turn a 4x4 into a 6x6. And like I said, all you have to do is take the cap off, and don't tell me it's gonna be hard, because it's only a couple of finish nails, and they pop that off and put a sleeve over top of it, drill your holes and put the rope back. You don't have to paint them or do anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
And then they'll be 6x6, and they'll be more substantial, and they'll look more appropriate for that. So,
Yeah, it'll fit right in with a fence next door.
Right.
yeah. So, anybody wanna make the motion? I'll make it if you want.
I don't know if you can.
Huh?
I don't know if you can.
Okay, go ahead. What I would do is make a motion, you've done this before,
Yep.
to amend the motion to accept this application with the condition that the applicants put a PVC sleeve over the post, and that's it, of the posts that are out front. Yep.
Reinstall the rope.
And reinstall the rope.
And what, the rope?
Reinstall.
Reinstall the rope.
Oh, well, they gotta redo it, yeah.
And what about caps on the top? Caps?
Yeah, they have the PVC caps that go on the top too, yep, yep.
Okay, can I just say so moved?
Do you want to specify the color of the sleeves in your motion? I know you all said white, but it wasn't part of the motion, so.
White,
Okay. We'll amend it as to white. Is
Yeah,
everybody
white, yeah,
approve?
white,
White.
yeah, white sleeves and a white cap on the
and also the-
existing PVC post, yeah.
the size of
WP.
the PVC,
It goes over a 4x4 post,
so this will be, they'll stay 4x4.
yeah. That will say, yeah, that's just like, yeah, but it'll turn out being a 6x6.
Will turn out to be 6 by 6,
Yeah.
6 by 6.
Are you okay with that motion? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
The motion is made,
Yep, motion is made.
seconded?
Seconded.
Okay. Bob?
Bob Burns approves?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Darcy Segrin approves.
Sam Stryber approves.
And Dan Silver approves as well. Yeah, that's gonna be a cheap, quick fix.
All right.
Hop over and you're done.
We'll get it done.
Sarah, would you want paperwork, a picture, when they have completed or when they're,
We will ask the commissioner to do a site visit, to take a picture, so that way we have it
Okay.
recorded for the file.
Yeah, and if they want any assistance in, figuring out what those, casings are, they can contact me, all right? Feel free to contact me, Sarah. All right, Sam,
thank you.
Next.
Okay,
thank you so much. Now we're on to what?
There's still,
Stay right there.
the next is a sign, 25-044, Beverly and Terry Angelotti. Application to install a quarterboard sign on the dwelling located at 751 Main Street. And the central permitting planner has determined that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
Alrighty. Now, what do we have here?
here's the
7 by
the
48.
sign right here. It's on our building. I mean, there's gonna, looking at this, a new tree here and another decorative one is gonna be right here. So these will grow up a little bit in this area and to kind of fill this in this area here. So this kind of looked like what we wanted to have. It's, I think, still some work in process. This light was not there, this wasn't there, so we filled in a few things. This box wasn't there. This was, unfortunately, like I had said, just a property that had been let go to side of the road, and no one really said much about that, but it just looked like it just was I think in foreclosure and the other stuff, so it just got out of hand, but we've taken it to try to start working with it. And this is the quarter board that my wife picked out to have made here at the Chatham sign place.
Okay, if I can be as rude to ask you to introduce yourself again, I was a little late on that.
Beverly Angelotti.
And Terry Angelotti, 751 Main Street in Chatham.
And we're discussing the proposed quarter boards, right?
Yes, sir.
Or the existing quarter boards. All right. Oh, Sam?
I think it's a sort of interesting little composition here, but, and you've added some temporary things that have handles on the top. They're not in the photograph, they're on the site.
That's just decoration for the 4th of July.
Okay,
Yeah, that's some 4th of July stuff there to
all right,
Or
so
at-
that adds to the
put now.
ambiance here. But I don't think anything, the sign and the number sign and the light and the plantings it's just that they're so sort of simply done, so simply done. It's kind of misses on. But I appreciate it, and I think it's okay for the site.
All right.
Darcy?
I think the sign is fine. You did put the light up, though? You put that light up?
No,
Oh, it was there already?
no, this light wasn't there. They put this up when they were doing some reconstruction work there that they had gotten a permit.
The light next to the window,
Yes, ma'am.
that was there?
No, I bought it.
That's what I'm getting at. I don't think did you come before us for the light?
No, I guess
Right,
we're here, the
that's-
application is just for this.
I know, that's my question. When you do something in the historic business district, you need to come before us
Oh.
with everything that you've been doing.
Yeah, I've thus learned that.
So I don't know how to proceed with that. Come before us again with the light? Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, but, you know, rules and regs.
Rules are rules, I guess. Depends on how
Yes.
you go with that.
so it will require a new application. My suggestion to the applicant would be, if you do have any other work that you think you might want to do,
Yeah.
put it all on that application. So if, you know, lighting or any other things that you may want to do to the house or the site, incorporate that all into one application for the commission's review.
Any lighting down on the patio or in the end of the driveway or anything like that, think of it, you know, or an inside, you know, a sign that says in, you know, directing traffic or something like that, throw it in there, throw it in the application, anything that you think you might want to do.
That's all I have.
Huh?
That's
Okay.
all I have.
Kim?
Just one question. What is the schools out a reference to? Just curious.
We own preschools, and I'm retired now.
Thank you very much.
That's nice. That's
That
great.
explains that, Bob.
I think it's a very appropriate name based on the traffic
Yeah.
last few days in town. The school is definitely
Well, we
out.
noticed out that,
So, no, I like the sign.
yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
It is too small for the
curious.
wall, but
It was kind of
we
hard to
needed
tell on the
another
little
window,
drawing.
but that's where the kitchen is.
Yeah, it would need another one of these windows over here, but that's the kitchen there, so it's kind of backs up against there. So if we tried to put another one of these faux windows here, it might, but it really wouldn't be anything other than just a fake thing. But
It's very interesting. Did they leave off a piece of trim when they shingled the side of that, or, you
I-
know?
I don't
You haven't
know.
owned it that long, have you?
no, just since
The
October.
overhang hasn't got a soffit on it, I'm sorry, a freeze board.
Well, I mean, it does have like gutters now and a whole new roof. I mean, that was all
Yeah, you
taken
see you
care
got one whiteboard on there. Usually there's another whiteboard down below that on the, but I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. I was just
Yeah.
curious. It's unusual. Just unusual, that's all. So, all righty.
All right.
Do we have a motion?
Under signs 25-044, Beverly and Terry Angelotti, application to install a quarter board sign on the dwelling located at 751 Main Street.
Bob Burns, second.
Motion made, seconded. Bob?
Bob Burns approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam Stryber approves.
And Dan Silver approves as well. All right, folks, you are done.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right,
Now
Sam.
we have 25-47, Three Fins Coffee House. Application to install a ground sign located at 251 Crowell Road. And the central permitting planner has determined that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
Very good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ron Reddick.
Catherine Beery.
Well, hello there.
Know you guys well.
So what you up to?
So the ground sign, it's going where the existing sign currently was for the old gym. We're going to go with, where's my little pointer thing?
Okay.
So the posts on this are going to be reclaimed lumber. We're going to go over to Stonewood, see what they have somewhere between an 8x8 by 10x10. You know, something looking a bit industrial to kind of match the building. And it, like I say, it's going to go into the existing bed that was there already. I had a discussion with Sarah about the setback, so a little clarity on that. But it should fit in quite well and match kind of the building structure and the whole design of the coffee house.
Alrighty.
So the material for the actual sign is the aluminum, what do you want to call it, like honeycomb board, and it's digitally printed on that with a UV protection, so it'll be both sides sandwiched on the crossbars right there.
Alrighty.
Nice and durable.
Well, it sounds good. To me anyways. Bob?
Yeah, I like it. The fact that it's going to tie in with the building, I think is very, very nice. So I do like it very much.
And the only two colors are our little brand colors going right between the surfboards, matches our logo.
Very, very, very well done.
Thank you.
I think it's very well done. I think it complements the coloring of the major structure, so I think you did a great job on this.
Thanks.
Darcy?
I agree, 100%. That's it.
Sam?
Okay. I have no questions.
Thank you, Sam.
I think it's a great sign too, and I think it's gonna work. Of course, Bob, I expected Bob to ask if there's any lighting on that or additional lighting.
There is no lighting right now. The electrical wiring that was down from the, from the original building was so chewed up, it's not usable. And the cost right now for us to trench is prohibitive. So no lighting right now.
Okay, well, if you decide later you can't live without it, come before us for the lighting, all right?
Will do.
Tim, do you wanna make a motion?
About solar.
Would,
What
solar
if we
lighting?
decided to do like just
Solar-
solar lighting temporarily? It's not the best.
Well, solar lighting is lighting.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, under signs, 25-047, Three Fins Coffee House, application to install a ground sign located at 251 Crowell Road.
Bob Burns, second.
Motion made and seconded. Bob?
Bob Burns approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam Stryver approves.
And Dan Silver approves as well.
Thank you.
All right, don't go anywhere.
So we have one more sign, 25-048, Three Fins Coffee House. Application to install a wall sign on the structure located at 251 Crowell Road.
Okay, I'm gonna sound
And
silly.
the,
Whoops, I'm sorry.
excuse me, the central permitting planner has determined that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
Very good. I was gonna say, I'm going to sound silly, and I did. So anyway, do you have to reintroduce us?
Ron Reddick, Three Fins.
Alrighty.
Catherine Beery.
All right, what do we got here?
So nice and simple, keeping with the design of the building. They're 3 foot high, the polyvinyl laser cut letters be on like
Okay.
3/4 inch standoffs off of the building. And there's a LED strip light that's gonna be tucked into the soffit itself.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so you won't even see the light. We'll be taking,
All right,
there's
very
an
good.
existing, yeah, that just tucks right into the soffit itself. It cuts in.
All right.
So,
Bob?
there is an existing, I would say, parking lot light that's there, that's gonna sit right, that sits right about there, and we aren't gonna touch that, so.
Okay.
So that will be, if I'm facing the building, that's going to be on the left-hand side.
Correct.
And the stairway going up is to the
Stairs
left,
are right there.
right there.
Yeah.
And that door down below is the other entrance that's,
This was the emergency entrance that's wood, and this is the little, like, vestibule.
Yeah, I remember that.
To the
Okay.
chiropractor office, yeah.
okay. And those three windows up top are existing, next to Three Fins?
Yeah, this is on the corner of the building, there's two,
Right.
one right on the corner,
Okay.
and then these are the two high windows.
That they are existing there now?
Correct.
Okay,
Future reference, doors have to have lights on them, so,
Yeah.
but we can approve the type.
good.
Right.
No, I think it looks great.
Thank you.
No questions.
I agree. I think it looks great. No questions.
Anybody?
Waiting for me?
Yeah.
I agree. The sign looks good. Aside from the sign, the right-hand side has no access to upstairs, correct? For your
Correct.
customers? Okay. So I've seen people try to.
They
get in there.
wander over to the left. I'm almost thinking in a, that's
Maybe a
good
little
question.
sign
A little
that's-
sign maybe right here that says entrance.
Sarah, what's the regulation? 6 inches? If it's
1
less-
square foot or less does not require a permit from a sign
Right.
permit, nor does it require HPDC approval.
Right,
square
so
foot or
if you
less.
just put that little sign,
We can do
Pointing
that.
that way.
Yeah, because we do get people, I'll be unloading in the back and they say, do we come in here? Is-
right, I've seen it, yes, thank you.
It's 1 square foot, isn't it?
1 square
1
foot.
square foot.
That's
yeah,
correct.
We can do that.
Right.
I'll put a dinghy out there with a sign up with an arrow on it.
Or a surfboard, old surfboard.
Then you have to come before us.
Yeah. It'll be a one.
A small surfboard.
Under signs, 25-048 Three Friends Coffee House, application to install a wall sign on the structure located at 251 Crowell Road.
Bob Burns, second.
Motion made and seconded. Bob?
Bob Burns approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam Stryber approves.
Dan Silver approves as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good 4th.
Thank you.
Good luck
It's
to
already
you.
That was an
crazy
easy
out
one.
there.
Thank you. Okay, Sam, we got one administrative approval?
Sam?
What?
Well,
Yes, I do. The next applicant is an administrative approval exemption, 25-46, Eastwood Companies, ratification of administrative approval to replace the roof shingles on the structure located at 693 Main Street.
This was looked at by Doug and Darcy, and they were replacing the roof on this structure with Landmark Pro Black roof shingles.
Yeah, and they did.
Under administrative approval exemptions, 25-046 Eastwood Companies, ratification of administrative approval to replace the roof shingles on the structure located at 693 Main Street.
Bob Burns, second.
Motion made and seconded.
Bob Burns approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam Stryber approves.
And Dan Silver approves as well. All right, folks, we got one more.
Darcy Sequin will make a motion to adjourn.
Bob Burns, second. Bob Burns approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Sam Stryber approves.
Darcy,
Uh,
you going to approve?
Yeah, I approve.
Okay, Dan Silver approves as well. All right, folks, have a safe and wonderful holiday.